Well, good afternoon. It is race day in Indianapolis.
No
we
kidding.
we are Manasota Key,
Not Indianapolis.
not in Indianapolis. We're at Sandbar, and
A
it
little warmer
is
here.
yeah, it's traffic's pretty good. Memorial Day weekend. I hope you're doing well. My name is Mike Archer. That's Sarah right there.
The shirt.
Yeah,
It's race day.
Yep. Don't
It's race day.
no texts,
Nothing.
no messages, no nothing. I already talked to Jimmy Vaughn. I can't tell you what I threatened him because Facebook does not understand sarcasm and humor. And so I'll get dinged if I say what I told him. But he knows. I talked to him. I talked to Jimmy Vaughn. I talked to his parents. I have not talked to Jane Archer, but I'm sure I will. But just don't tell me. I want to watch it. And other than that, Jody, I know you're watching. If you need anything from the Publix, let me know. We'll pick it up on the way so we
Love
can
the Publix.
watch it together, have some
It's one
burgers.
of my favorite places to go.
But I would certainly rather play music than watch any sporting event. So I'm glad we're here. Anyway, if the camera person could do a little panorama, we might actually be able to see what's going on. Ooh, that's directly behind the camera. And as you can see, it is a lovely day. It's about 90 degrees. Plenty warm and humid. But that's okay. That's why we're here at Sandbar. Now, yesterday it was pointed out to me, not so nicely,
Yeah.
that I did make an error. And I do this all the time. I don't know about you, but as I'm getting older, like the J months I get mixed up, or the A months, I'll be meaning August and I'll say April, or vice versa. I'm sure you do. I'm almost 35 now. So I'm getting older and I do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I told Danny Vaughn today, we were talking about my 8th grade year. I said I wasn't even born during my 8th grade year. But
It's just amazing how life happens.
I did call there's two places we play. There's one called the Wyvern, and then there's one called the Waverly. The Wyvern is a hotel. The Waverly is a restaurant. The Wyvern has a restaurant on top. I accidentally said we're at the Waverly Hotel. That's the mistake I made because they both start with a W, blah, 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 blah. I didn't even realize I said it. But you could have been nicer the way you corrected me.
Yeah. So it made me realize, and I told him, you never know who's watching. So just a random blogger out there called him out.
Yes.
Called him out. So we apologize if we ruined your day.
And I'm not really apologizing to that blogger. I am
No.
to the folks at the Waverly, because I just made a tiny little whoopsie.
Yeah.
And so take what I say with a grain of salt. I think one time I was playing in Edinburgh, Indiana, and I said something about Edinburgh, Kentucky. Remember that?
Yes.
Everybody laughed. I didn't know why they were laughing. I didn't know I said something wrong. So, yeah, I do that from time to time. So my bad.
That's okay. But it's corrected. It's fixed. And
Yeah.
so don't book your hotel reservations at the Waverly,
I dare you.
because you'll be sleeping in the parking lot in
I
your car.
double dog dare you. But other than that, I had a nice little chat today with Danny and Pat Vaughn. They're just wonderful people. Obviously Jimmy too, but there was something that came up when I was talking to Danny. And we laugh a lot when we're together. We cut up and all that kind of stuff. And life's too short to be all serial and stuff. I mean, serious and stuff. So if you're one of those people who's serious all the time,
Stop it.
knock it off. We ain't getting out of this thing
Who
alive.
do you think's nicer, Danny or Pat?
Wow, that's a tough call.
Yeah, I was just checking. I myself don't have a preference. They run neck and neck for me.
I'm taking Pat over Danny by the slimmest of margins.
Okay.
Because Danny threatens me sometimes.
Well, I get that, as he should. As he should.
They've both been so nice to me. And one thing I'm going to say publicly about their son, Jimmy, that I've told them many times, I hope I've told them many times, is that Jimmy Vaughn is such a nice guy. I wish I was more like him. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I've made a lot of mistakes, that's for sure. But Jimmy Vaughn is, I just think the world of him. So kudos to their parenting.
That's why Jan Archer likes Jimmy Vaughn better, isn't it?
Well, I told them the story, and I can't tell because it's a little off color, but my grandmother, my mom's mom, Nellie, who was just absolutely loved her to death, it was always a joke running in the family because she babysat my sister's kids, and she had a favorite, and that was Isaiah. And we all teased her about Isaiah, and of course Grandma swore up and down she didn't, but she did. And Mom picked on her about it. Oh, this is so funny. Well, then she has kind of led us to believe that she's got one that she likes, even though she gets mad. And she told me in no uncertain terms at Murphy's that day about it, and I was like, "Oh, how the tables have turned." She used to pick on her own mother.
Stirring up any
We're not stirring up
anything here. No.
No, we would never.
We're not doing that. Just wish.
We just know that
you can't be here today.
We know which one of her favorite kids.
If you can't be here today at the Sandbar, we wish you were. Wish we could send some of the 90-degree temperatures to Kentucky and Indiana.
Well, actually,
cool,
Indiana's just right.
Perfect race day.
70 and cloudy
Overcast,
for race.
Yeah.
However, I wish it had been like that in 1988 or hey, even 86. In 86, it rained 2 days in a row, and it didn't just rain. It would rain, get the track, and then they delay it so they could get the track. And just as soon as they got it dry, it would rain again. It did like that for 2 straight days, and then they had the race like the next weekend. And I said, I'm not going. We should ride our bike. And I said, I'm not going. And it ended up being the fastest race once it started, because in 86, before the race even started, Sneva stuck it in the fence. He was warming up his tires. So then they had another like half-hour delay. So what was good about that race in 86 was my grandmother and I had a cookout in the backyard and listened to it on the radio. And it was a sunny day, maybe not as warm as it is today, but it was sunny like it is today here in Florida. And it was a great memory, and I'm glad it worked out that way, even though I wasn't there to see it.
I went in 85, and I think it was
Sullivan.
185 that year.
Spin and win.
Anywho.
Also talking about the snake pit, Roger Penske owns the track now. I know I'm going on, but who cares?
No, it's fine.
Roger Penske owns the track now, and they've made these comments like they're trying to get the snake pit back. No, you don't want it back the way it was. It was Katie bar the door back in the day. It was crazy. And one year, I believe it was 83, Sneva won that year. We found, because we didn't have tickets, we couldn't afford tickets, so we would just go and get in. And we knew a guy that worked the gate. He'd let us in. Hope he didn't get fired. Hope he's still alive. But anyway, we found a place to watch the start facing the. We're at the museum, so we're basically facing the short chute there, and there was a whole bunch of people there. So that basically was a snake pit, more or less on the outside. But turn one was the snake pit, and we were just in between them. Some guy just pulls it out and takes a whiz just right on the sidewalk. And
you gotta go. Go.
We had to cover our eyes because we were a little kid. We were like 10.
Thank goodness it was number one.
But that's just the way it used to be. We don't want it like that anymore. And that's just the way it was.
And we don't do that here on Manasota Key. But the beach is absolutely packed today. So I'm glad I'm not on the other side over there.
What other
nightmare.
Indianapolis 500 information do you want? Jules Gou drank champagne or something.
Champagne.
And won the race. So we don't encourage that, but that was like 1912 or 13 or something like that. I was just a kid.
Yeah, I don't remember that race.
Excuse me. Well, anyway, we hope you're doing well. Please, no information about the race today. I'm very, very excited about it, but I would much rather play music than sit and watch it live.
Got a busy week coming up, so we'll be seeing you from several different locations, like
how many gigs you got?
Marco Island, and going to be in Venice.
I think I got a gig every day, don't I?
Orlando Beach, and then we'll be back in Nokomis. So, yeah, and he's going to do a little side music on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. So we miss you. We love you. Thank you so much for sharing, for those of you who do, and we will see you when we see you, but can't wait for trivia tomorrow for our, what's the name of our team? The Sharks.
The Sharks.
We can't wait for our trivia team tomorrow. We'll see you when we see y'all.